Chad's attorneys are going to throw her under, not a bus, but a steamroller.
Yeah.
And
I bet he's thinking twice about, well, maybe I need to just rethink all this and cop a plea, because look what happened to her, and I think the evidence is stronger against him. So yeah, so he's he'll be sentenced to death, no doubt.
Little JJ's grandparents have been so strong through all of this disaster of a case, the Doomsday couple, Lori and Chad Daybell. Lori's been convicted. They were finally able to have a memorial for little JJ and for Tylee. And now Chad Daybell is on trial. He was back in court today. Another big day in Boise. Oh yeah, like a really big day in Boise. Let's bring in Court TV legal correspondent Kelly Craft, who joins us live from Idaho tonight. Kelly, great to see you. Thank you so much. A lot of family members testifying today. Who did we hear from first?
Hey there, Vinny. Well, we heard from Kay Woodcock first. So she is JJ's biological grandmother, also the younger sister of Charles Vallow, Lori Vallow's fourth husband. And I really love listening to her testimony. We've gotten to know Kay pretty well since we've been out here covering this case, and even when Lori Vallow was on trial. And so today she was talking about JJ and how she wanted to have contact with JJ, and this was after Charles died, and that Lori started to prevent her from having contact with JJ. She would try to call, and Lori just became more and more evasive. And one of the other things that stood out was this Amazon search. So now her brother Charles has been shot and killed by Alex Cox. And so then she had access to her brother's Amazon account. And so this is before Tammy Daybell died, that she noticed there was a search done on Amazon when you look at the browsing history of her brother's account. But her brother was already deceased. So what the suggestion was that Lori was doing these searches. So let's listen to this testimony as she explains what she discovered.
Was there anything of interest to you on that you saw with your own eyes on that Amazon browsing history?
Yes, it was.
What did you see?
Jaw-dropping. I saw malachite wedding rings, women's beach wedding dresses, a yellow one-piece bathing suit, like linen beach clothes, and a size large is what she was looking at. And it was a white shirt and white pants.
Why did those items catch your attention?
Because I know that Tammy passed away October the 19th. And Lori was obviously involved with Chad Daybell, and it was just mind blowing that they were looking at wedding rings before Tammy's death.
So obviously, they had been planning this. This is the suggestion. They already were planning their wedding before Tammy Daybell was then found dead in her bed. Lori looking for a yellow one-piece bathing suit, looking for some wedding gear for her and Chad to wear while they went off to Hawaii. So as you can imagine, when Kay Woodcock discovered this search, she was quite surprised and shocked, to say the least.
Another shock for me today is that we heard from Chad's mother.
We did, Vinny. So she is really soft-spoken, and you could tell it wasn't exactly comfortable for her to be up there on the stand. And the way the courtroom is set up, Chad Daybell is not that far away from where the witness stand is. So defense counsel table not too far away. And on cross-examination, John Pryor was really asking her a lot about Chad's demeanor, his personality, and this is what she had to say about her son.
He's not gregarious. Do you understand what the word gregarious means?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
He's not a gregarious personality, is he?
No.
He met Tammy at a relatively young age,
Yes.
and they got married very young.
Yes.
Your son Chad is not necessarily a man of the world, right?
Not worldly.
So he didn't have like a lot of experience in dealing with relationships or anything like that, correct?
No.
In fact, Tammy was really his only ever real serious relationship.
Yes.
And that's the woman he married.
Yes.
Now, if we fast forward to Lori Vallow, she was a different personality, a much more dynamic personality, correct?
Yes.
So the indication, Vinny, that John Pryor was trying to get across was that Chad Daybell, this shy, non-worldly man, meets Lori Vallow, who's been married several times, dynamic personality, much more gregarious than Chad, saying Chad was not gregarious at all. So Lori was the one that's responsible for all this. That's what John Pryor's trying to get across.
Yeah, she's the one who's literally making the moves and making things happen, according to John Pryor and Chad Daybell's defense. Okay, another witness today, another family member, Chad's sister-in-law, taking the stand.
Yeah, this is Heather Daybell, Vinny, and when she was testifying, I noticed at times, there were a few times that she looked over at Chad when she was talking, in particular a time when she was talking about concerns that she had about Chad, especially when they found the remains of JJ and Ty Lee in the yard. And she looked directly over at Chad when she was saying this, and then Chad immediately looked down, I noticed. But she was telling the jurors that she had concerns about Chad long before he encountered a woman by the name of Lori Vallow. So back in 2014, 2015, she began to be concerned about his teachings, his beliefs, his comments that he was having these visions. She didn't want him to be moving close to her family. This is when he still was married to Tammy, and she was concerned about them moving close by because he had this idea that he was going to be building something in their backyard by the river, and was going to be the end of time, and they were going to build something back there for everybody to congregate. Let's listen to some of her testimony.
Please tell the jury how that call went. What did you first say, and how did Chad respond?
So just expressing my sympathy and shock that Tammy had passed away, and asked him what had happened, if he could explain to me what had happened. But the whole time he was explaining that, it felt scripted to me, he was reading it or something. It just felt very scripted. It was the word that came to my mind, and it made me feel very uneasy.
Yeah, so it was no secret in court today that Heather is not a fan and has not been a fan of Chad Daybell for quite some time. Vinny.
To me, that's devastating and so descriptive. Right? Scripted that this guy isn't a prophet. No, they are writing a script and they're executing a plan. That was devastating testimony. So as we sit here tonight, how far into this case are we? How much more do we have to go? And what's coming up next?
Well, Vinny, we're pretty far into the case, and I will say we did notice the tables start to turn, at least this week, because in the beginning, when the way the state was directing its case, you could tell that maybe there could be some doubt in regard to, did Chad have this involvement with Tammy Daybell and her death? Was it accidental? Did she die from natural causes? But this last week of testimony, the week that we're in right now, it became much more apparent with these witnesses on the stand, one after another, talking about Tammy's health, how she was a healthy 49-year-old woman going to exercise classes, running 5Ks, etc. So if there was any doubt by jurors that Tammy just died from natural causes, I think this week, the way the state presented its case, that would have erased any doubt. Now, I will say, coming up in the future, we do know that John Pryor is going to be putting on a case. And so when he begins, I mean, he is very stern. He's very direct when he's presenting, Vinny. The way he asks his questions, he turns over and looks at the jurors when he's asking the questions and waiting for the responses from the witness on the stand. But he's going to call 4 witnesses to refute and challenge the state's case. So we'll have to see what he comes up with.
Another difference between this trial and Lori's trial. Kelly Craft live in Boise tonight. Thank you so much. We'll speak again.